ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Competitive Speed Series. It's yet another round of racing.
What's going to happen in turn 1?
4 vibrant lights here in Shanghai.
They will need an even bigger miracle.
This is completely flipped on its head.
Now the gloves have come off.
You will not believe your eyes.
Oh, it's the wall! For the first time, EVE have won a race.
They have beaten the unbeatable team title for TF10. They are back on top.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to Competitive Speed Series for, well, what is the second half of the season, Ollie. We are here for the Brazilian Grand Prix, one of my favourite on the circuit altogether. I love Interlagos. I love the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's amazing. But yeah, anyway, enough about my love affair with this track, Ollie. Welcome along. I hope you had a good a week's break, but are you looking forward to this one?
Yeah, I think like said Gareth, Brazil to us, maybe with our generation, Brazil as iconic. You know, Hamilton in '08 just screams, you know, the thing that happened back then, and from then it's always been a great race. You know, you got back further, the moments with Senna many years ago, you'd argue, but regardless, it's always a great race. You know, come rain or shine, and we do get a lot of rain at the circuit, which we could see this evening. So hopefully we're in for an entertaining. I think regardless if it rains or not, it'll be entertaining, especially in this league.
Yeah, it's always a great track. They are on circuit now for qualifying, so we will go over very, very shortly. But let's have a look at the standings, because it's still Shazoo Cedars being absolutely incredible at the top of the standings. 306 points to them, and ET8 on 251. Ventauri there in third place, 178, and then 60 points further down is Team TF10 with FRT just behind them, and QRT in sixth place. And then it kind of drops down. There's a big fight for that seventh place with AMR and IRT. AMS on 38 points, and then RSC down in 10th place. But let's get on to the action on track, Ollie, because, well, I mean, it's one of those historic circuits, and there's a lot of names at this track which you know. So like Retroposta Curva de Sol, Descida de Lago, Janzao, Pico de Pato. You know, it's kind of like the Belgian Grand Prix or the British Grand Prix, where people will know what you're talking about if you say something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's got this prestige, hasn't it, where we've got names in the corners. A lot of the more modern races, we don't have those, unfortunately. And unfortunately, we do have quite a few street circuits, and some of the older races are being pushed away. But this is one which obviously, hopefully, we'll see for the future going forward. But yeah, we have some iconic corners here, and they provide some great racing on circuit, and hopefully, and I'm sure we will see it tonight. Yeah, some just iconic. You know, like you said, you picture that, and you know exactly where it is on the track without needing a track map, Gareth.
Definitely. Let's see what Silo can do then for the ET8 team. Just rounding up turn 10, Pico de Pato. And just a reminder, actually, and I've just seen the PR team aren't actually PR anymore. They are QRT. I did see something on Twitter, but I've completely forgotten about it. And I think Ace may have even got around to messaging me as well. But there goes Silo, already pretty much, you could say, well, it's 0.4 of a second quicker than Mashuzo there in second place. So already a statement of intent from Silo, as here comes the Shazoo driver of Giron into third place, not able to match Silo, and Lifebout going second for that Mercedes team to be up there right at the top at the moment.
Yeah, crucially, they need to do that, Gareth, don't they, in the standings? They did well last time out, which obviously helped them quite significantly at Miami before our mid-season break, and that closed the gap a little bit to our top team in SCI. So both Silo and Lifebout at the top early doors bodes well for them so far. But again, we're only 6.5 minutes into quali, so we can't take everything with a pinch of salt, Gareth. Still plenty of time for drivers to get lap times in.
It certainly is. This is just the first first throes of it all, I suppose you could say. Let's go on board with Maxim there. And we'll just remind everyone the teams. Obviously, we've had that week break. People may forget. I doubt it. But in the Mercedes team, we have ETA. IRT is in the McLaren. The VNT team is in the Williams. RSC in the V-Carb. Shazoo in the Red Bull. The QRT team are in the Aston Martin. AMR in the Ferrari. FRT in the Sauber. AMS in the Haas. And the Alpine is the TF10 team. So as we just see Maxim come through and set that lap time for the AMR team, it's up into 10th place, just quicker than their teammate.
Yeah, good early banker lap there from Maxime. Still, what's that, 7/10 behind our current post doing silo, so still a bit of work to do, but it's almost they glue themselves coming around that final corner, don't they, Gareth, to the inside wall to minimise the distance to that line, and obviously the Maxim doing that well. But yeah, still a little bit of time to find, but again, it's that first banker lap, isn't it? Get the time on the board just in case something else happens later on in the Grand Prix as a McLaren flies on by his car there. But yeah, crucially, early banker lap, that's what's important. You know, we do see penalties at the circuit for corner cutting, especially in the first sector with the center S's, so something to keep an eye on for the drivers.
Yes, we did just see Caden throw themselves into 9th place, and also Max Power spinning at turn 7. But across the line for Marlon, into 10th place with a 107.1, as a few yellow flags popping around. Here comes Boom across the line, only 7th for them. But IRT Nick up into 4th place, which is good for the IRT team.
Absolutely, yeah. Early doors again. Like I've said, crucially getting that banker lap in, as most of the cars are now in. His teammate down in 17th. A little bit of work for him to do, but you know, nothing in these lap times, Gareth. Really, this midfield pack are very close. It's only Silo who's obviously got that big gap from his teammate, but crucially he's got his teammates behind him. But like I said already, early doors. Track still hasn't giving time to bed in as more tarmac is put on the circuit. So we'll see the flying laps, I'm sure, in the last 10 minutes of the session. But I'm sure I'm sure they've done plenty of practice, guys. You know how professional these guys are. They've done lap after lap, I'm sure. So we'll see these times tumble in no time at all. Definitely,
and you know, we're looking at it and just on board with as Gravroch there goes 2nd place. I wasn't expecting Gravroch to do a lap, but I was going to make 2 points, and one of them I will go straight away. You can just get away with doing an extra installation lap on these tyres because the track is quite short, so you can do that build up and waste a little bit more fuel to be as light as possible. Gravroch possibly doing that and getting themselves right into the mix at the top end. But also the other point I was going to make is look at the how close, again, it's down to the it was like a kind of segue of the track is so short, like Austria, where these drivers are going to be closer together on time.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe a third point is how close to be on circuit. There's, I'm sure, plenty of time, especially coming through 5 and 6. That it does get quite thinner. That's part of the circuit. So these guys are professional enough to get out of the way, but we could see some overlapping at times. So the drivers got to be careful where they put themselves on circuit. Very much like Austria, not to Monaco or Hungary levels maybe, but there are certain parts of the circuit where you can get caught out in traffic. So something to consider for the drivers. But they seem to be all negotiating and giving enough space for now. But when it comes to crunch time, we may not see that, and they may be blocked. Well, no, not blocking. That's not the right term. But they're being selfish, taking their own time and their own laps, I think, as they get round.
Just on board with Ollie, but Ollie's bailed out of their lap time, maybe through the exit or into turn 8, maybe not setting themselves up perfectly. Lolo into 3rd place as well. But let's go on board with TF10. Lucas then is just coming through to Cedar de Largo. Let's see what they can do. Purple in Sector 1 for them, and whether that means purple in the session, purple for their lap, or purple in Codemaster's life, we're not 100% sure. But through they go into turn 9 and up towards Pico de Pato, where we see just the Mercedes getting out of their way.
Yeah, nicely done by didn't see who that was, but it goes past another Mercedes that it looks like. And again, purple in sector 2 for Lucas as he comes up the hill, flat out, head down, all the way to the line. Will we see a new pole man on this occasion? Hugs the inside line, coming towards the line is an improvement. It is an improvement, but not enough. Pole 3/10 quicker, but still, Gareth, just shy of 2/10 slower than Silo. Silo put something strange in his fuel and is flying at the moment, and he starts his next flying lap as well.
7 minutes 42 remaining as we're on board with Wards then, heading to Zhangzhou at turn 12. 0.3 of a second quicker on their lap time. This will throw them into the top 10, but is there anything more to give down there? Is there more straight line speed in this Alpine, the TF10 driver, across the line? Currently P17, and Wilco only P15. Lost a lot of time in what is not often you see a lot of time lost in pretty much a straight line. It must have been a mistake into Zhangzhou.
Yeah, it could well be. But he's got enough time though, doesn't he, guys? Still 7 minutes. Time to put a new set of tyres on and go again. Just a point though, Silo have been on board with on this lap is absolutely flying. He's a 10th.5 up on his middle sector time, so we could see an even better lap time from our current poster, Gareth.
How Lifebout responded and put themselves back into third place, and it is even quicker from Silo. That is a lovely, lovely time from Silo, just reminding everyone the pace that they've got through at the moment. We might have, as an invalidation for Gravroch on their lap time, Stefano, is that down, massively down on their time, so they're not doing another lap. Neither is their teammate. They're jumping into the pits. Who have we got? Mashuzo coming round turn 12. Let's see what the RB car can do for the time being, and whether this is actually a lap for them or if they're popping into the pits. Looks, well, it's hugging so close to that pit wall across the line, up into 6th place.
Yeah, good time by the RSC driver. Sorry, RSC. Sorry, I'm trying to. I need to get the names on the standings guide so I remember who is who. I should remember by now. We're quite a few races in, but yeah, great time from him. And Lolo behind him, so good job from both those drivers. I think what's confusing, he's got an ET8 name though, hasn't he? And race fun, so that's what's confusing me. But yeah, good lap time from him. Should have enough time to get in again. Got a couple of drivers still on circuit. Both these kick Saibers still on circuit. I think they may be, not sure whether on laps. I think they're both on out laps. Yeah, both on out laps, it looks like, Gareth.
Yeah, well, let's see what Marlon can do. They're just about to start their lap time. I think Max may have put a lap in, but Caden, yeah, possibly throwing themselves into the pits. Yeah, it does look like on the mini-map there. So see what Marlon can do. Currently P17, but he's way off the track at turn 4 and 5.
Yeah, snap of oversteer there, Gareth, and try to just keep the car in a straight line. And unfortunately, he's gone deep into turn 5, and that is his lap ruined. So again, should get enough time to go around again. 4 minutes 30 left of the session. Yeah, should be okay to get out again.
Should be enough time. Yeah, 4 minutes. Yeah, if they don't, then there's something wrong. But yeah, so Gravroch, this is the second time that I've seen them invalidate into the Senna S's. So they've obviously got a little bit of a plan for those those corners for qualifying. It knows where to get the maximum out of it. However, it looks like it's a fine line of doing it right and wrong. Outlap for Wards then, probably for their last run of the days, as we just see the pit crew put Gravroch back into their box. Marlon is going again.
Yeah, I was about to say he's gone around. Gone, and he's lost the back end again through 5, and that may cost him as he comes through 6, throws the car in to 6 and towards 7. But yeah, struggling with the rear end of the car, Marlon, and again trying to flick it into the left coming through. Oh, and again, Gareth is really struggling with the back end of that car, and that may be setup change needed. I don't know whether you can have that opportunity, but yeah, it's I don't think it's going to be an improvement as it comes into sector 2. Well, yeah, 1.6 down on the lap time, so trip to the pits, I think, for Marlon. Can't hear you, Gareth.
That's typical. Still got plenty of time to come through, to hopefully for them. But Lucas is just about to start a lap time. A gaggle of cars. This could be problematic, being some of the first drivers out, because it can be. Saying that, Lucas has already invalidated their lap time, unfortunately, so they won't be going any quicker on this time of asking.
Yeah, it looks like it's the Aston Martin, so the QRT team front of this queue. It's Oroka will be the flying man here. You see the gaggle of cars on the mini map, but yeah, his teammates behind him. Where is he? In Lars in 4th place, but we'll see what Oroka can do as he starts his next flying lap.
I think Lolo could be on a lap, so we're going to just stay aboard with Lolo until they get past the end of the second sector, that sector split, as they have pulled massively out of that, so they are going to go again. So yes, Aroca it is into Decido de Largo. Let's hope that they can produce a lot of time, but don't seem to be pushing the car wide at the exit of turn 5, so maybe not going as fast as they could.
Yeah, potentially trying to maybe line himself up for the next corner. I'm not entirely sure. It was a little bit deep through on the exit of 9 there, but comes around this downhill section into the final real corner on circuit. And he is improved, just shy of 800ths there, but so it may be improvement for him, but I don't think it's going to be much. He comes towards the line again, hugging the inside the best he can. Battery almost depleted, and he's up to 4th place, just jumped his teammate as well, so not bad from the QRT driver.
And his teammate Lars into the pits and nearly crashing into the pits as well. Let's have a look at what Lucas can do. I say what Lucas can do. Unfortunately, Lucas is invalidated. Where else can we go? Flexus has, I just think, completed their lap time. Can we go?
Yeah, 2/10 up on his lap time there, Gareth. So he'll be happy with 8 so far.
So that's good from then. I think Mashuzo goes P2. Silo is massively down on their lap time. Or are they just about to start? I'm not sure. Currently on pole position. It looks like they're going for it this time around. Just beats it. 6 seconds through there. Stefano going into 6th place. Where else can we go on board with? Nick is massively down on their lap time. Boom is not doing what we would expect through there either. And I think at this point we just sit and watch Silo make a mistake, actually, into Decido de Largo, which is unexpected considering how dominant they've been. But also, do they really need to push that hard when they're already on pole?
Yeah, no one's near him because he's got a 10th, isn't he? So I think he should have this all sealed up, really. It'll be interesting to see whether he can improve on that lap time as you've got cars going across the circuit. Is he up? No, he's down by 2/10. So yeah, and he's just gone almost straight on. And unfortunately, Max Power has spun at the final corner as well, which is never ideal. There, just spinning at 12 and taking to the grass and smashing a barrier on the way through.
Not ideal for Max Power. Let's just round off with Ollie, your namesake, Ollie Hornby, just coming around the final bends of this one, the curves to the left-hand side, and probably... I thought they may go into the pits, but they haven't. They've decided to go across the line. But that is qualifying over and done with Silo leading the way in quite a dominant fashion, really. A 10th clear in such a short circuit is quite impressive.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a real good time from Silo, and we'll see whether he can translate that into race pace. But crucially, Gareth, the ET8 drivers are quite a bit ahead of the SCI drivers when it comes to the constructors in this qualifying session alone. So we'll see how that all pans out.
We will indeed, as Silo, Mashuzo, Gravroch, Lifebout, Aroka, Stefano, Lars, Lucas, Wards, and Flexus, the top 10. Then you've got Maxim, Giron, Lolo, Nick, Boom, Marlon, Caden, Ollie, Max Power, and Aaron as your next 10 there. That's a typical Brazilian qualifying, really, but not so much at the top. Usually you get it's within half a tenth, I would say, but that's quite a large margin for this track.
Yeah, it's surprising how well Silo did, especially like I said, at such a short circuit. Like I said, can he translate that into race pace? Got a clear track, but as you well know, Gareth, the circuit is weather dependent, and safety cars are a big thing here as well. So you can have a great car, but if he can't do the restarts well, can't judge how the weather's going to turn, there's quite a few factors he's got to deal with. So we'll see whether he can, like I said, translate that into the race win. But we'll wait and see as we just obviously get rid of this lobby before we restart again. But yeah, good laps and like you said, surprised how big that gap was. But maybe this is his circuit. Everyone usually has one or two circuits that they can just perfectly nail, and this could be one of those.
Not sure we will get a restart because I think because there was no issues in qualifying, we might just go straight into it. Well, that's the hope anyway.
Okay.
That is the hope. But as you picked up and you quite rightly mentioned, Shazoo are nowhere near the top in that qualifying session. So ETA have a real good chance this time around of doing something really good out of this, because Stefano in 6th and then Giron down in 12th, while both the ET8 drivers, 1st and 4th, which is exactly what they need to do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, it's just tripping me out the fact that Masuzo is got ET8 and he's second. So it's just, for those who aren't paying attention, he is a different team. He is the SCI from memory.
No, he
no,
would
SCI.
be the
Sorry,
RSC.
RSC. Sorry, my mistake. But if Mizuno can continue this guy, that'd be a great haul of points for them, because unfortunately they are lying at the bottom with quite a few DNFs. So if he can stay up there, that'd be a great haul of points, and catch up with AMS in 9th place. So we'll see how the race pans out. But yeah, crucially ET8 obviously Lifeboat's got to get through 2 great drivers before then, but we'll see how it all pans out. And for the VNT team, having Gavroche there, his teammates are a little bit further down, but again, good haul of points potentially for them if it goes their way. So we'll see. Again, we may try and make these predictions, don't we, about quali, but race is a completely different beast. So we'll have to wait and see what we.
It certainly is a different beast. Quickly, who's going to take victory tonight? And chat, let us know who you think is going to take victory as well.
Difficult not to go Silo with his pacing quality, Gareth. So I'll have to stick with that. Yeah, I can't see anyone beating him at the moment. Yeah, something would have to really go wrong for the Silo to mess up.
And let's see. Well, we're moments, I suppose, away of finding out how this race is going to start. Going into turn 1 is quite a short run into turn 1, but you can make the position if possible. At other places, obviously, you've got to hold through the ZRSs and then through Curva de Sol and head down and probably burn a lot of your ERS before you get into turn 4. But here we go. Race is going to be starting very shortly. We're on 5 red lights now, and the Brazilian Grand Prix at Competitive Speed Series is a go, and Silo is in second. Okay, that's not that, but Wards isn't in the lead of the Grand Prix, but Aroka is struggling to keep ahead of Lifebout. A great opportunity for Aroka to throw something into the mix here when we weren't really expecting them to do an awful lot and throw down. There's a Lars Kramer's had an incident in the background, Lifebout holding on, but here comes Stefano as well. trying to get a position done. There's a McLaren massively off in the background. Thankfully, they don't come through. Turn 7. Wow, this is really close racing, and somehow, Stefano hasn't managed to make the move, but they got the inside for turn 9, still battling away, hammer and tong between the two of them, not giving up an inch of road.
Great racing from them both, still side by side for the majority of this lap. Has Stefano finally made the move stick? Yes, he has. Coming into almost the last corner of this Grand Prix, makes the move stick and up into 5th place. Great racing from both of them, but for Rocca now, he's got Lucas right on his gearbox as well as Flexus, so no rest for the wicked at all here.
No, here comes, ooh, very, very close Lucas there to the back end of a Rocca, who looked like they were going to get a move done on Lifebout, and all of a sudden, maybe a little bit more in trouble, maybe used a bit too much ERS into the attack and cost them a bit of a problem. The Alpines fighting behind the TF10 and the AMR team, squabbling away, one by one.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? And it's great racing so far. I mean, it's only lap 2, so still many still to go in this race. But Silo trying to eke out that gap, 6-7 tenths over Mizuno in second. Gavros staying in third for now. But once that DRS is enabled, Gareth, coming down into turn 5, we'll see, I'm sure, turn 4, plenty of overtaking on lap 3. But yeah, he's eking that gap out little by little. Silo, but he's gonna have to work hard to try and ditch Mizuno here and the rest of the grid.
So we'll just go on board with the battle for P10. Silo, fastest driver on the circuit, but Giron trying to get into the top 10. The ML driver and Maxim pushing to the inside, but oh goodness, there's big contact, and that is front wing damage for the Shizou driver, but also knocking the AMR driver of Maxim off position and down a few places. That's not ideal.
No, I think that might be a trip to the stewards. They looked like he had enough space there. Maxim getting involved with Nick and Ollie Hornby now, but both will be gutted with that. And it looked like they both a little bit of contact with the back of the Alpine. And there's a huge crash going through turn 8 there, Gareth, and there's no front wing on the RB car, and that's Lolo out of this Grand Prix, and it looks like already we've got a full course yellow. Could that turn into a safety car here? But Lolo made a mistake there, and unfortunately just a whole host of cars just drove into the side of the car, and that cost the driver.
That is not ideal at all. Virtual safety car is out. No need for a full course, apparently, according to Bert Mylander or the team. But that does mean Mashuzo is going for an early pit stop, same as Lucas, deciding that they want to try something a little bit different. Their engineers telling them to do something else. And oh my god, a Rocker. I thought that said Silo for a second. A Rocker picking up a drive-through penalty for speeding under that virtual safety car, which is not ideal at all.
Yeah, Lars has just lost 3 places, Gareth, coming through the first sector as well. So people have been caught out by the restart here in lap 4 of all things. Still very early doors, but so Mashuda's just come out the pits now in 50. His teammate is out the Grand Prix, so he's got all the work to do for him, for the team now, for the RSC team. RSC team here, but he's got a little bit of a gap now. It'd be interesting to see how quickly he closes to the back of Max Power. 5.5 fresh tyres, but everyone still is on relatively new tyres. Only keep an eye on that gap and how quickly he hits traffic. And does that trigger someone else to come into the pits? Maybe we'll have to wait and see.
It might do, but Silo just having that extra bit of pace at the top. Gavroche having able to do it. Drive-through penalty being served by a Rocker straight away. But yeah, Silo being brought back in by Gavroche, which I wasn't expecting. But 5.3, maybe Mashuzo is catching on the hard compounded tyres. This is something we weren't expecting. I can't imagine Mashuzo going to the end of this as Ward's getting past Flex there into Decido de Largo, which there's a couple of breaks in the chain, isn't there? It's a little bit... it's going to be more of an interesting race because of this, I think.
Yeah, I think there's quite a few people on different strategies now, aren't they? Because pit stops, it's not so triggered the whole bunch of cars, has it? Like we've seen in the past. It's people maybe risking it and hoping maybe there's another safety car later on, or maybe other people are, maybe the weather is going to change. It doesn't look like it's going to with the blue skies we've got here in Brazil, but you never know. Just on board with Flex at the moment, just trying to keep up with Ward's ahead of him, he's in a bit no man's land here, Gareth, trying to catch up with Stefano in fourth, but is nowhere near. But I don't think he's going to be under pressure from Flex on this occasion, and neither Boom or Caden behind. So they'll stay in formation for now. But further up, I think there could be. No, I'd say people are close, but they're not close enough.
Not on this occasion. Flex is also, I think, maybe under pressure from the McLaren behind. They get very close into turn 4, into the first part of Tecido de Lago, but then nothing really doing, and Ward's far enough ahead to hold off the pressure. But FRT Caden getting themselves into a great position there after a not very good qualifying session. But obviously, we've lost them. We've lost Lolo, but also Mashuzo and Lucas have pitted, and Aroka had that drive-through penalty to serve. But the mediums don't look like they're decent. Well, they don't seem decent because the hards of Mashuzo is really catching Aaron in 12th place. And
a mistake, sorry, Gareth, from Gavroche coming through the final corner, and Lifeboat flies up the inside. There's three abreast, Gareth, coming towards the line. There's a pit stop for the Williams car, but Stefano could fly around the outside of Lifeboat here. They're side by side coming to turn 1. Can the Red Bull go around the outside? Yes, he does on the brakes. Flies around the outside through 1, and that's even the second place. Great move from the SCI driver. We spoke about how SCI were nowhere near this race, Gareth. Stefano is proving us wrong.
Definitely is, and that's a great move from Stefano. And Lifebout might be a bit frustrated with the wheel banging because, well, Gavroche wanted a pit, but Lifebout was there up the inside trying to make a move.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? It was. I think obviously Stefano with that mistake, Lifebout threw it up the inside. So obviously that was his only space you could get coming through turn 12 and 13. And like I said, that wheel bang, he tried to get into the pits but just couldn't, and that allowed Stefano to fly around the outsides, then coming into the first corner. So a bit of mayhem on lap 6 has mixed the order up completely. I'm sure Silo's not too happy with that. But Silo with that with the battling den has now got 2.3 over Stefano.
Yeah, that's exactly what Silo needs. Just a little bit of a buffer. No pits yet for these drivers. They're staying out. Some of the others deciding to go early. This is one of them, Gavroche, which obviously had that little bit of a wheel banging moment with Lifebout trying to throw themselves into the pit lane, but all over the back of Aroka has a few positional changes as we just see, well, Gavroche get past Aroka with ease through all that. Pits to Aaron then, and if we go on board with Mashuzo, still 2.4 behind max power, so I think that was because of Aaron's pit that their time isn't too close together. Ollie Hornby up into 7th place, but off the track there, which is not what you really want to be doing.
No, not ideal. Those cars aren't built to drive off-road, unfortunately, with the slick tyres. So he's trying to keep up with Lars here. Doing an okay job for now. Max Power is behind, and Mashuzo not too far either. Now sub 2 seconds. But both Mashuzo and Lucas done 4 laps in the tyres. I mean, just see if Gavroche can close a gap now. Obviously, it won't affect them too much in the early stages, but as you progress through the race, it'll be near the end of the stint on the tyres, there's Lifebout, Gareth, where how quickly the tyres go off and whether Gavroche can keep up. But keep an eye on Mashuzo and does he come out compared to Lifebout here?
Yeah, let's see. Mashuzo coming through the center S's, well ahead of Lifebout by the looks of things. Lifebout's just exiting the pits behind Gavroche as well. So the tyre life is going to be definitely on Lifebout's side, but the positional is not, as Mashuzo still hasn't been able to catch. But where is Lifebout going to come out? Right in a thicket of cars behind Flexus, who has pitted, as well as Wards. He's got to make some positions done on track.
Yeah, not ideal coming out in traffic here. and both these cars are, like I said, already pitted and doing their own little battle. So Lifeboat's getting involved and have to get his elbows out if he wants to claw back some time to the cars ahead here. Does that trigger the top? The top four are yet to pit at the moment. Just Silo's in at the end of lap 9, Gareth. Is that Stefano is in as well? And I assume Boom is in as well. Yes, he is. Top 3 in the pits on this occasion. Max Power is under pressure from Mashuzo here, and they're still side by side. Power's going for another lap, but Mashuzo flies around the outside. No defense from Max Power, and the RB car flies on through into the lead of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, Mashuzo, that early pit has absolutely worked a treat. Partly under the safety virtual safety car that was, and Silo is going to be behind Gavroche, who has pitted earlier. Is Silo going to be ahead as we see Gavroche trying to fight hammer and tong with Lucas for position, but Lucas is holding up. And that is some great defensive work from Lucas as Gavroche goes up the inside. This is going to be close. There's wheel banging between the two of them. Gavroche throwing himself up the inside to basically demand the position. He didn't want Silo in at his diffuser.
Yeah, it looks like Gavroche has really been quick on the start of this stint on his hard tyres. Lucas still, darting around a little bit, still feeling tyres out. He's struggling. He's a bit of oversteer there coming through turn 11, and crucially for Gavroche, if Lucas can hold him back for now, this would be ideal. But Lucas still has DRS on the Williams ahead of him, but already Silo flies around the outside. Unfortunately, Lucas has got no response at all. I don't think Silo's close enough. No, nowhere near to challenge Gavroche on this occasion. But crucially, he's ahead. The thing that Mashuzo might have on his side is Max Power is yet to pit, and these cars might catch him through the middle sector where it is a little bit slower. So if Mashuzo can stay ahead and Max Power can be in a bit of an annoyance, as I say that, though, Mashuzo gets a 3-second time penalty, not for a race.
Not ideal at all for Mashuzo. Lap 11 of 36. We're about a third of the way through round 6 here in Competitive Speed Series, and Wards we're on board with being passed now by Lifebout. Lifebout was one of the leading runners of this race, podium position early doors for them, but down to 6th place at the moment. Everyone apart from Aroka and Max Power have pit, and the Shizou drivers are on, who hit Maxim early doors, has not had the luck of it at the moment, and way off the pace, unfortunately, for the Shizou team. But here comes their teammate Stefano up the inside of Flexus, and my goodness me, I thought they was going to go into the pit wall there, but thankfully nothing doing for that.
Yeah, thankfully, but moves up at the front. Gavroche and Silo both get past Max Power coming through the center S's, and Silo looking to make up the inside through 4 here late in the break as possible as he can. Gavroche still trying to hold the outside, but unfortunately for him, Silo flies up the inside, and that's Silo back up to second. And again, crucially, Gareth, he's only done 2 laps on his hard tyres, while Mashuzo up in the lead has done 8 already with an early pit stop during the VSC. So Silo closing that gap down very quickly to our race lead.
Definitely is, as Lucas dropping a little bit like a stone as Stefano and Lifebout bullied their way through, and now has their TF10 teammate Lucas Wards behind them, and AMR Flexus as well. I wonder if there's going to be a bit of team orders allowing Wards through and then holding Flexus up a little bit, as we're just on board. I think with another 3 wide positional overtake possible, as Lifebout trying to get through Max Power. Will Stefano do the same? No, they won't on this occasion. Going to get held up by that very late pitting Max Power.
Yeah, I expected Lifeboat pulled out of a move through turn 12, so expecting Stefano to fly through, but the pace of Max Power and actually a wheel on. Oh no, there's contact between them. Max Power's around, and that is really not ideal for the Sauber driver, and locking wheels through turn 4, and unfortunately that is a trip into the AstroTurf for Max Power, and not ideal for his tyre life as well. Gareth got quite a few laps on those mediums, We've seen punctures in the past from drivers, so I'm sure it might be that incident is not going to help. And again, might be another trip to the stewards.
Not ideal at all for them. Lucas is now looking like they are holding Flexus up a little bit, giving Wards a little bit of a breathing room through all this. Maybe a little bit of work there. Mashuzo being overtaken for the race lead by Silo. Silo may want to use Mashuzo as a little bit of a buffer for Gavroche behind, but Silo with that tyre life to their advantage massively at the moment and using it well. Max Power finally pitting, but a Rocker isn't.
No, of course he had his drive through, didn't he, earlier on in the Grand Prix. Obviously he was quite high up, but unfortunately taking that time has not helped him. Just still on board with Lucas Gareth. He's really struggling. I thought maybe he's got damage to that front wing, but nothing of sorts. And the back end keeps stepping out on the Alpine for the TF10 driver, and maybe he can hang on to the coattails of Lucas to keep Flexes at bay for now, but not ideal for him. But Silo now, Gareth, is pushed on 1.4 already on Mashuzo here, and it looks like Gavroche should be able to make the move on the RSC driver here. No defense from the RB car, flies up the inside man of Gavroche, and that is him up into P2.
But how much damage has been done by being stuck behind Mashuzo for pretty much that lap? It's 1.7 seconds as there is a positional change into the center S's as Boom and Flexus battling away. Boom wins that one out as a Rocker finally pits as well. But yeah, Boom doing what they can, and just behind, maybe there's another positional change with Flexus dropping down the order, was behind Lucas, and then all of a sudden is down to 10th place. So from 8th to 10th in a sector is not ideal for the AMR driver.
No, he was sort of squimming around the exit of 5 there. So again, I thought, could it be a puncture or something? But of course, they've only done 8 laps on those tyres, so no idea what happened to the Ferrari man on this occasion. Got a bit of work to do, and unfortunately, Maxim is a little bit further back to help his teammates out for the AMR team. But Gagala car still fighting away, as I think it is Ward the front of this queue. But Lucas still just about within DRS range of his teammate. I think he should. Yes, he does. But Boom, right on the back of the gearbox of the Alpine and goes up the inside. Who's going to be later on the brakes? It is the McLaren. I say that, though, Lucas still trying to defend all he can. He's got the part of the corner, but I don't think he's got the grip, the pace to hold on to that place, and that's Boom up into 7th place, and Caden looking racy as well. Steph about in all this as well, but Caden around the outside of Lucas. Can he hang on to that? He's been pushed off the circuit there, still side. Lucas defending, but now Caden's on the outside towards turn 6. Can he hang it around the outside? He's going to try his best. He's lost a little bit of grip there, a bit of oversteer. Lucas comes back up the inside, but then is Caden up the inside through 7 here, down towards 8. There's just about squeezes the TF10 driver off, and Caden moves up into 8th place.
Wow, that was a half a lap battle side by side between them. Lucas didn't want to give up the position. Caden didn't want to not have the position and see Boom pull away a little bit. And I do wonder if we're going to see Lucas pit again. These hards really shouldn't go to the end of the Grand Prix. I know they put a lot of damage or a lot of pace through them and whatnot, and they usually will go to the end. But maybe if you want pace on this race, you won't. As there goes Wards being passed by Boom. Boom has a lot of pace in them at the moment as well. This could call for a really interesting end of the Grand Prix. Mashuzo holding station with Gavroche at the moment, and here comes Wards again. Not going to attack on this time of asking. But yeah, could end up being an insane end to this Grand Prix as we're about halfway through.
Yeah, could absolutely. Yeah, I think obviously we're expecting another pit stop from the drivers here. Oh, a big tank slapper there from Wards. Both Alpine drivers, or both TF10 drivers, struggling on these hard competitions. So Wards being the man who able to control a little bit better than his teammates. But again, Lucas still in 9th place, guys. Still points for the TF10 team. Look at them in the the standings there. Still fourth, guys. So still a good haul of points. They're a little bit away from VNT, but crucially, there's only one VNT driver ahead of them in Gavroche, but crucially, he's in second, which is a good haul of points for that team. So we'll see how this race progresses. Still, again, halfway. Bizarrely, we're only halfway in this race, but Silo's still leading this away, 3.3 over Gavroche, and I think that's only going up here. Silo, sorry, is dialed in on this race. As Shuzo loses another place to Lifeboat here, and you can see that car really struggling now, drifting through four, and maybe it's time for maybe not just yet, Gareth, but you can see the rubber starting to build on those tyres as well. If you look closely on the RSC driver's car.
I'm just seeing if we could see any sort of graining on the car, but it doesn't look like you can see any graining on the tyres on this occasion. As well, Stefano, you know, we gave Shazoo a little bit of a questioning about their qualifying performance, but Stefano is definitely proving us wrong at the moment. Like you said, he might, but yeah, a lot of time between themselves and Silo, and the crucial thing for Stefano is actually he's got Lifebout behind them, and that's an ET8 team driver, and Silo in first, so it's effectively 1 versus 2.
Yeah, with Jerome down in 19th place on a set of mediums, it's not the way that SCI would have wanted this race to go, but obviously he'll try his best for the team and see what he can do. Is a big ask, I think, to close that gap down. Obviously he's taken second now. Crucially, if he can stay ahead of Lifebout, we get a flag, and that is Jerome, Gareth. He's got a puncture, rear right puncture on the medium tyres. Don't have anything to go by, but unfortunately he's missed the pit lane. He's going to have to do a whole lap with three tyres. He spun again here, turn 1. This could cause all sorts of trouble as the guys start coming around.
That is not ideal at all, and I think what could have happened to go on board with their teammate Stefano just holding back Gavroche into turn 1 is they possibly tried to go into the pits, but sometimes it resets you outside of the pit if you've spun in the pit lane, and if that is the case, then not ideal. But yeah, a torrid time for half of the Shazoo team, and we do wonder how that one's going to pan out. But Silo's still building that lead, 4.5 seconds over the rest of the grid at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, I appreciate that he does ghost, but seeing a ghost car even spin out in front of you is going to put you off, isn't it? Especially as you come into a braking zone, as the guys are now. That was Maxim and Lars coming through. But hopefully, he can get back in the pit and stay out. Because again, anything can happen in these races. We've seen plenty of times retire early and lost themselves some points, even if it's 1 or 2 points. You know, that all adds up to the end of this race. But everyone seems to be bunching up again, which is great to see on circuit. And Shuzo is unfortunately at the front of one of those trains, and he still going round. I say that though, he has come straight into the pits here, and we'll see him. Well, I guess Gareth onto a set of mediums, but there is 15 laps, and we've seen a puncture from Jerome here. Is he going to risk the mediums, or is he going to go another set of hards? Have to wait.
It surely has to be hards. Like a lot of the drivers that are coming in, they're going on to a set of hards. This will be for track position for a lot of those drivers. But we could see the likes of maybe Silo, Stefano, and Lifebout, maybe Gavroche as well. Boom. Going that little bit further and going on to a set of mediums, we will have to wait and see. But yeah, I don't know. I think hards is probably the best way to go. Silo will probably wait for a couple more laps and pit. They've got that time advantage to their name. 5 seconds in front of Stefano as the yellow flag for Girona still flying at the moment, as they are really Zhang Zhao. They're not having fun at all.
No, he's struggling, and he has teammate fly through him. He's now, I think, they're 2 laps down, Gareth, on our race leader. So he's trying his best to get himself into the pits. And crucially, the important thing is he's not stopped and caused the safety car of sorts. He's still going, and hopefully on this occasion now he won't spin on pit entry. He's lifting where he can to try and make sure he flies as a Ferrari flies through him in the pit. But Ron seems to have just about made it. He'll be able to get a new set of tyres now.
I wonder if we will see a retirement there. I thought that might be the thing. A 3-second time penalty for Caden, which is not ideal. As Ollie Hornby going to be behind, I think. Yeah, Oroka. But going to be on fresh tyres. Could still hold on to that final point scoring position as well, which is quite vital for the AMS team. One of their drivers, though, up into 6th place, which is good, but has yet to take their second stop. Silo averaging that 5 second to Stefano at the back now. But do we see any pits? Nothing for Silo, and nothing for the rest of the top 5 either by the looks of things. Poor old Boom looks like they're in a race of their own because they've got no one around them.
Yeah, Betty No Mate's Boom here, isn't he? He's got 4 seconds to Lifebout and 15 seconds to Aaron in 6th place, so he'll be trying to close down as now Lars, who's just taken Aaron as Aaron comes into the pits, and he's just got a speeding penalty there. He was almost hit the wall on pit entry. Then again, adding more penalties to his name. Not ideal as Marlon fast man on circuit. The 19.5. So he'll be happy with that. But yeah, we'll see whether Boom can close the gap. 3.9 to Lifeboat. So he's closed the gap a little bit to driver ahead. 1 lap younger tyres than our E8 man, but we'll see whether he can close the gap down to the fight for 2nd place here. Gavroche hasn't been able to close the gap as quick as I thought, Gareth, on Stefano, but Stefano does have fresher tyres. Sorry, Stefano got past Gavroche. No, ignore what I did. As Gavroche comes in the pits, and I'll give it back to you, Gareth, because I think I need a moment.
We'll get you some Lucozade or something to rehydrate you through this one. Pit stop, so for Lifebout and Gavroche. Lifebout probably doing this to get track position over Stefano and causing Stefano even more problems. Boom staying out an extra lap. I'm not sure if Silo will... There's 12 laps remaining. Silo, are we going to see something special from Silo? Go on to a set of mediums and then take that fastest lap as well. We'll have to wait and see. Lifebout out of the pits. Are they going to be... And Gavroche, sorry. Are they going to be caught in traffic? No, just ahead. Crucially, just ahead of Caden and Wards.
Yeah, that'd be really ideal that they weren't stuck behind both those drivers. I think both Gavroche and Lifebout obviously fighting for the podium. Caden and Wards just don't get me wrong, they're in great positions, but obviously still a few drivers yet to pit here. Silo, does he go around again? No, he's in the pits here, guys. But looking at where he is on the map, he should only pop back to 3rd. So that's Stefano following him in, and I think Boom also in. So Silo should come out in 1st place here. Well, the top 2 at least should stay where they are. As Boom does a speeding penalty to the pit lane. Really not what he wanted with where he's in circuit as well. So yeah, not ideal for the IRT driver.
I'm going to stay on board with Stefano just because they are the... I'd love to actually be on board with Stefano, but I'm not going to be able to because it's not allowing us. Out of the pits now for Stefano. Are they going to get caught out? Oh, no. Gavroche gets past, but not Lifebout. I know that made it sound like I was an ET8 team favourer there, but Stefano does manage to hold station. I've been supporting Shazoo for all the season, so I might as well go for the ET8 now this time around. But Stefano doing a good job and getting themselves, well, into the swing of it and not being behind Lifebout. That could have been a bit problematic for the Shazoo driver.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely something you'd be happy with, and he's already taken Gavroche. He can race him, but on this occasion, there's only 1 lap difference in tyres, so Gavroche may put up a better fight on this occasion, but Lifebout closest out of the 3 of them at the moment, so we could see some dueling coming into turn number 1 here. Looks like Gav. It could be 3 abreast coming into turn 1. Is 3 abreast through here. The Williams. Oh, and there's a bit of contact. They pull through just about. Gavroche still holds P2. Stefano still P2, but Warwheel through 2 and 3. There you go. Side by between Stefano and Lifeboat. Down they go towards turn 4. Caden trying to get involved in this fight as well. Stay in position for now. But Gareth, they all got a bit close on the start of lap 26.
Just under 10, just over 10 laps remaining, and we're starting to see how this Grand Prix could very well end up. And people, well, the drivers are in trying their best to cause problems. There's only one driver, though, that is having a time of their life, and that's Silo in the lead. 7 seconds because of the squabbling that's going on behind them.
Absolutely. Silo can put it in cruise control now, can't he? Doesn't need to push those tyres. I mean, he's on the hard tyre anyway, so there shouldn't be any problems. But round 2 of the duel for second place we go at the end of this Grand Prix. Silo, new fast flying lap from Silo, I must say, into the one-ways. But here we go, Stefano up the inside. What does Lifeboat do? He goes on the very inside here, late on the brakes, and he flies past the both of them, but he's gone deep here. And Stefano goes up the inside of both. Stefano in the second, Lifeboat third, Gavroche fourth. Gavroche won't be happy with that. Lifeboat went 2 deep, and Gavroche goes back up to the outside here. Who's going to be later on the brakes? It looks like it's Mercedes just about holding it. Oh, in the back. And both Caden and Wards fly on through, and Gavroche down to 6th place, Gareth.
Not ideal at all. And I feel like that's my most favoured saying in this race is not ideal, because I've said it a lot, because it hasn't been ideal for a few of these drivers. And poor old Gavroche, just, well, now languishing in 6th place. Boom Pie chasing as well. Any other? I don't know. We've had all that. The battle for second place has been absolutely insane. Stefano trying to build a little bit of a gap to Lifeboat at the moment, but some good racing. Well, some good racing, some entertaining racing in this one.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we can relax for a lap. Oh, I say that there's a flying move from Gavroche up the inside of Wards. Wards trying to defend all he can. He's pushed the Williams onto the curb here, but he's got the better grip up the inside through turn 3, and Gavroche takes 5th back. Gavroche is on a mission now. I think he's peed off, and he wants that second place back.
Yeah, we'll see how they pan out. Those tyres would have overheated a little bit with the spin. But let's hope that they can keep battling the way that they have been. Stefano in 2nd place, and Lifebout just dropping away now. Lifebout doesn't have the full pace to contend with Stefano, but I don't think they've got the full pace to contend with... Well, none of them have the pace to contend with Silo. Silo's been absolutely rapid.
Yeah, no, it's either been unbelievable. I don't think anyone can challenge him. Someone had really have to go wrong for Silo to lose out, and when he has had to make overtakes, Gareth flew on through, and no one's really had an answer to him on this occasion. But Gavroche flies past Caden. I don't think Caden wants to deal with the faff of that, but boom, up the inside of Wards. We weren't expecting the IRT driver, but he's up the inside of the TF10 driver. He's got the outside for the next part. Pushed off by Wards here, trying to defend all he can, but it looks like Boom has got through. But Wards, I don't think he's going to sit down and let that. No, she's going to let him, and can't defend at all. Again, a little bit more laps on those tyres from Wards, but I think not enough, Gareth, to make that much of a difference. But Boom flies on through and already has half a second over him.
Yeah, that is... well, Boom, it just shows the fresh tyres are absolutely crucial when it comes down to it, because the fresher tyres we saw with Silo when they pitted later and went onto the fresh tyres, was just able to ramp on through. But at the moment, this has been, well, all about just sheer pace, and that's been Silo. But Boom, following suit in a way, could see a late charge to the podium.
I think so. Yeah, he's got fresh tyres. Should get past Caden. Flies past Caden. I think again, Caden not wanting to deal with that battle, and flies on through. And I think definitely could be a name to fight for the podium here into 5th place Gavroche is what's that, 1.4 ahead. So not much at all. Gavroche is a man on the mission, so get on the coattails of the Frenchman. He's definitely have a chance on to get on the podium.
Yeah, Gavroche desperately. Well, we know how quick Gavroche has been through this race, and to a degree was keeping up with Silo earlier on. But that 10 seconds to Boom Pie is going to cost them big time. I think Caden's the other driver with a 10-second penalty to their name. But let's have a look at the penalty situation while going through it. It's Aaron that's the penalty driver. A driver that I wasn't expecting to be where they are is Mashuzo, down in 18th place. What has happened to them? That's been an unfortunate turn of events as we just go on board with Lifeboat, because they could lose their podium position to Gavroche as they come down the start-finish straight to start at 31 of 36.
Yeah, make a move through 1 doesn't look like. Line him up and try and get him into 4 here, Gareth. Through they go, trying to get the best exit he can, and the DRS will be wide open. I don't think Lifeboat's got anything to go by. He's on through, and that's him up into P3. And now he's challenging his arch nemesis in this Grand Prix, in Stefano, up in second. It's the Dutch versus the French for second place in this Grand Prix, guys. I don't think anyone can match Silo in the lead. So we'll see how it all pans out. I don't think Lifeboat's got anything to fight back with either. We'll have to wait and see if he can keep up with the Williams and make it a 3-way fight for second place with, what's that, 5.5 laps remaining of this Grand Prix. You've gone on mute again, Gareth.
Oh, typical. I'm glad I did. I'm glad actually because of what I said, but I said not ideal because it isn't ideal. As we keep on, but yeah, it's gone. It's gone. It's completely gone. Wards and Caden fighting away. There's another battle on the track as Lucas just behind Flexus as well. So Lucas could get up some good points tonight. So is Ollie Hornby as well. Some real good opportunity for some drivers here to get some good points. Don't forget, points down to 15th place as we see Lars and Oroka swapping positions, as here comes Maxim as well, trying to have a little bit of a taste of the battle, and Oroka on 17 lap old hards. That's not ideal at all for them as they're still fighting away, trying to go up the inside, trying to do a little bit of a help for Lars, but Oroka's race has just not gone swimmingly.
No, I think the drive-through really cost him earlier on, and it may have been worth serving it at the end of the race, maybe. He's not had the best, looking at the positional changes, down 10 places from where he started, so yeah, he'll be kicking himself. But again, still got a point at the moment, but Aaron not far behind him with those tyres, done so many laps. I think yeah, he may be in trouble, Gareth, and Aaron should get past him quite easily.
Yeah, well, that 10-second penalty should come back to help Oroka, though, unless it's removable. We're not sure with the penalties going into the pits whether they are going to be removable or not, but the battle for P3 is going to heat up a little bit. Boom, with that 10-second penalty will drop down, but they could get it on track, and that's, sometimes that's what you want. You want it on track. Gives you that little bit of confidence going into the next one. And a battle with Lucas, Flexus and Ollie heating up for points for 8th place as well. So it's not over yet with everyone battling away. There's more controversy between Max Power and Lars. Oh my goodness me, this could end up being a little bit of a bloodbath.
Tears here. Lars just about can't get by on this occasion, but Max Power really back and steps out. And I think, could Lars go around the outside through? No, he can't be allowed the outside for the next corner. Decides to go switch it back up the inside. The Sabres are trying to defend here. Can Lars get the power down? Still side by side as they fly on through 11. And that is Lars through. But you can see, and that actually might allow Maxim through. No, can't occasion. But crucially, well, you see, Maxim might get him through here. Side ace in 13. And already, Max Power has lost 2 places. A little bit of contact as well. Nice, all kicking off for the fight for P12 here. Max Power pushing the Ferrari into turn 1 but stays in 14th for now, all fighting on crucial points, Gareth.
Yeah, it's mental. Don't really know who to go on board with and stay on board with. Gavroche still holding Lifebout at the moment. Anything else going on? There is, down in 10th place, because the battle for P8 is very much heating up, as Ollie Hornby could get some decent points for the AMS team this week, and that's what AMS really need.
Yeah, not to pick a favourite, Gareth, by any chance. But we'll see. We'll see how he does. Same initials as myself as well. We'll see how we get. Oh, commentators cursing. He's just lost the back end coming through 12. Shouldn't have said anything. And that may be 10th the best he can do. 2.3 behind. Oh dear, from Ollie Hornby. It was always going to be, wasn't it? And he'll hopefully that hasn't ruined his tyres too much through there. The pressure got to him, I think, in the nosebleed section of P10, and yeah, we'll see how he gets on. But back at the front, Gareth, Caden and Ward still fighting for P6 and 7. Lucas not close enough at the moment, but Caden, I think, struggling a little bit on those tyres. Again, only done 14 laps on them. Ward's 13, but both drivers back and stepping out. Yellow flag, and I think is that Mizuno lost. He's also got a puncture, but he spanned the pit lane. I think he just about might get that car in, but we saw Jerome earlier as Mizuno again retires from the pit lane. In the pit lane, crazy thing, Gareth. He finished. Well, he qualified in 2nd place.
Yeah, the strategy didn't work for them at all, did that? And through goes Wards on Caden. Caden gave up the fight, it looked like, out of turn 12, Zhangzhou, which is not what we were expecting. Positional change at the front for P3. Lifebout getting it. We're on the final lap. What's happened? We're at the end of the Grand Prix. My goodness me. Caden getting back past Wards as well. And this could be Lifebout just holding up. Nothing going through. That's some... no ERS. Oh, there's a bit of air there for Gavroche through Decido de Largo, which I was not expecting, as this Grand Prix is slowly wrapping up, as I desperately want to end this week's by looking at the race winner. But at the moment, Gavroche looks like they're struggling and could lose a position on track, at least, to Boompai, but nothing happening at the moment for that. I'm going to go on board with the driver that's been impenetrable all evening, and that is Silo. And what a win for the ET8 team and driver. Stefano came through a little bit of adversary with qualifying not possibly being their best, but across the line in 2nd place there, and Lifebout taking the final podium position as Gavroche and Boompai will come home there. Caden and Ward still battling away with Lucas slowly homing in on them, but nothing doing. Ward's and not Caden though, getting past Boom, as the Ferrari of Flexus having a little bit of a spin, and Ollie Hornby rounding out the Tom 10, which is nice. He's still got some decent points for the AMS team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as Aaron gets his penalty served at the end. I think Orica trying to get the fast lap of the race. Purple in the middle sector on the compound tyres, so I'd expect him to get the fast lap of the race. Just missed out on points as well in 17. Yes, he get the fast lap of the race if that's any consolation for him, Gareth. But ultimately, a race to forget for him. But crucially, Gareth, great haul of points for the ET8 team this evening, and SCI will be kicking themselves. Well, one of them will anyway.
one will, because the other one sat pretty in 2nd place. But look at that. The ET8 drivers, both of them on the podium, will be great haul of points advantage over Shizou. They probably would have preferred a Shizou driver not being the other driver on the podium. But they can't have it all on that one. Let's have a look at the final standings here. It is Silo, Stefano and Lifebout on the podium with Gavroche. Towards Boom, Caden, Lucas, Flexus, Ollie, Marlon, Lars, Maxim, Nick and Max Power rounding out the points positions. Finishers for Aaron, Aroka, Mashuzo, and non-finishers for Sharon and Lolo. And yeah, that is that one. how do we round that out? Because that was quite
Yeah.
quite an interesting Brazilian Grand Prix. Not an instant classic, I don't think we could say, but there was some incredible side by side racing through all that.
Yeah, the fight for second and third was unbelievable, wasn't it? Between Gavroche, Lifebout, and Stefano. Among others, Boom trying to get involved as well. Mashuza was there early doors as well. Yeah, like I said, I don't think the instant classic because obviously we weren't fighting for the lead at the end, but some great overtaking there during the race, and I'm sure many drivers will be quite happy with the results, while others obviously very disappointed. No safety cars, which was unsurprising, and no rain, Gareth. So very unusual Brazilian Grand Prix, if anything.
Yeah, very, very unusual because we usually expect a little bit, don't we? In Brazil, it always seems to happen that way. I'm just going to check to see if anyone is going to join us on the Discord for a chat. Any podium interviews? We'll just wait around for a little bit for this one. If I can find the Discord properly, I will do. Doesn't look like there's anyone popping in, so let's have a quick look at the calendar for this. We've got Imola next, another fast circuit, similar in a degree to Brazil. We're going to see the same, just see 2 or 3 drivers pull away, do you think?
Yeah, Imola's a difficult one to overtake, isn't it? It's mainly sector 1 where we see the main haul overtakes. We could see, again, someone eking it out. I hope not. I hope we see constant racing, which we have done for the majority of the season. We haven't seen many races with a runaway. I mean, we had it at Monaco, didn't we? And I had it a little bit today, but realistically, we haven't had much of it. So I think the back end of this calendar, Gareth, is brilliant. We obviously had Brazil, Imola, Austria, Canada, Britain, and Australia to finish off. So some classics there on the calendar. So very much looking forward to Imola, and again the rest of the calendar as we finish the second part of the season.
Definitely, and obviously Silo won tonight. If Silo races next week and the way he's handled himself this week, do you think it's going to be similar next week?
I mean, could well be, couldn't he? It's a difficult one, isn't it? Just looking at their other drivers, Azim is a very quick driver, isn't he? So, and Ryan Dahl, again, another quick driver. So, there are other drivers that could replace Silo in all this. But, if he does drop again, it could well be another dominant performance. Well, have to wait and see. But we could see other drivers come back for other teams. We don't know holidays, availability. There's all sorts of reasons why certain drivers don't show up for certain races. So we'll have to wait and see, won't we?
We will indeed. I suppose that is going to be us done and dusted for tonight. We, have had an incredible Brazilian Grand Prix. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching. But we will be back same time, same place next week. But at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.